Port Charles has always thrived on secrets, but every so often, a secret detonates so violently that it reshapes the canvas forever. The coming weeks on General Hospital promise exactly that kind of explosion, as three storylines converge into one chilling truth: evil doesn't always arrive with a gun or a bomb. Sometimes it arrives wearing love, loyalty, and righteousness. At the center of the storm, a dead man whose shadow never left, a heroine whose mind may finally fracture, and a woman everyone trusted, who may be writing her own villain origin story. This is not just another spoiler cycle. This is a reckoning. For years, the town of Port Charles has tried to bury Caesar Faison. Burned files, sealed memories, denial laid over trauma. But as Anna Devane has learned too many times before, you don't survive a man like Faison. You inherit him. The first signs are subtle. A misfiled WSB report resurfaces in a sealed digital archive. A long-retired agent panics when Anna's name appears on his caller ID. A coded message surfaces, one that only Anna, and one other person, was ever trained to recognize. The problem? That other person is supposed to be dead. Faison didn't just manipulate Anna. He studied her. He mapped her instincts, predicted her reactions, and, most dangerously, designed contingency plans that could activate years after his death. What no one realized until now is that one of those plans wasn't about revenge. It was about legacy. Anna has always trusted her mind. Even when her heart failed her, even when her body broke, her mind remained her sharpest weapon. But what happens when the very thing that saved her becomes compromised? The first cracks appear as stress. Sleepless nights. Repeating dreams of captivity. The sensation of being watched, even in places she knows are secure. Then come the hallucinations. Not visions. Not memories. Conversations. Anna begins hearing Faison's voice, not taunting, not threatening, but guiding. Correcting her. Completing her thoughts. Challenging her deductions. At first, she tells herself it's PTSD. A trauma echo. She's survived worse. She can compartmentalize. But when Faison's voice begins providing accurate intelligence, information Anna hasn't accessed yet, panic sets in. Because trauma doesn't give you classified WSB updates. Someone, or something, is helping her. Or worse, using her. The WSB notices before Port Charles does. Anna's reports become erratic. Her conclusions brilliant but untraceable. She refuses to show her work. She makes accusations without evidence, and is right just often enough to be terrifying. Robert Scorpio is the first to voice the unthinkable. What if Anna is no longer fully in control of her own mind? The suggestion devastates her. Anna Devane has been held hostage, tortured, brainwashed, buried alive, and she survived all of it without breaking. But this time feels different. This time, the enemy knows her better than she knows herself. A shocking turn occurs when Anna preempts an attack that no one else knew was coming. When questioned, she can't explain how she knew. She only knows she did. And that's when the WSB makes the call that shatters her world. Psych evaluation. Immediate leave. Possible institutional care. For Anna, it's not just humiliating. It's Faison's final victory. As Anna's condition worsens, a long-buried truth finally emerges. Faison was never just obsessed with control through force. His greatest experiments were psychological. Years ago, before his supposed death, Faison tested a prototype neuroconditioning program designed to embed decision-making algorithms into highly trained operatives. The subject wouldn't realize they were compromised. They'd believe every thought was their own. And the final subject? Anna Devane. Not fully. Not successfully. But enough. Enough that under extreme stress, the conditioning activates. Enough that Faison's voice isn't a hallucination at all, it's a triggered cognitive imprint. Anna isn't insane. But she may no longer be entirely free. While Port Charles focuses on Anna's unraveling, another story quietly turns sinister. Willow has always framed herself as the moral compass, the nurturer, the woman who sacrifices everything for love, family, and righteousness. But lately, her choices don't align with her words. She withholds critical medical information. She manipulates emotional situations under the guise of protection. She justifies cruelty as necessary. And when confronted, she cries. Not out of guilt, out of frustration. Willow is tired of being underestimated. Willow doesn't see herself as evil. That's what makes her dangerous. In her mind, every action is justified. Every lie is protection. Every betrayal is survival. She has rewritten her own history so thoroughly that she genuinely believes she's the victim, even as bodies pile up metaphorically around her. Her growing resentment toward those she feels owe her becomes palpable. Michael's control, Drew's influence, Carly's suspicion. Willow begins making moves in secret. Financial decisions masked as necessity. Medical choices framed as mercy. Information selectively withheld until it benefits her. The scariest part? She's good at it. The irony is brutal. Anna is being labeled unstable while fighting an enemy inside her own mind. Willow is being praised as strong while slowly dismantling lives from the inside out. One woman is losing control against her will. The other is embracing control and enjoying it. Their paths are destined to collide. Because Willow knows something about Faison. Something she shouldn't. And when Anna finally realizes Willow has been manipulating information connected to the WSB investigation, the truth hits her like a freight train. Faison didn't just leave a legacy in Anna. He planted one in Port Charles. Willow's transformation doesn't happen in a single act of violence. It happens in decisions, rationalizations, smiles that don't reach her eyes. She doesn't need a weapon. She is the weapon. And when she finally makes a choice that cannot be undone, one that costs someone their freedom, their family, or their life, she won't hesitate. Because in Willow's mind, she's already forgiven herself. Anna's possible institutionalization. Faison's posthumous victory. Willow's descent into calculated darkness. These aren't isolated arcs. They are chapters of the same story. A story about control. About identity. About how evil doesn't always look monstrous. Sometimes, it looks like love. And by the time Port Charles realizes the truth, it may already be too late.